Well, I came to librarianship because I wanted to be an area studies librarian. I studied Western Europe, and that's what I wanted to do in the library. So when I was ready to change jobs, there wasn't really anything available in my specialty. So I saw this Project Muse job, and I thought, hey, I can use my languages for a couple of years and then go back to the library. But that was actually 13 years ago. I really like publishing. Well, when I left the library and went to work for Project Muse, it was considered kind of a rejection of libraries by my peer group. And I think that was 13 years ago. I think today, working for vendors is considered to be a viable career path, and it's actually an economic reality. I think librarianship can't only be performed in a library. I think that some people will split hairs about that, but to me, I'm a librarian, and I know more about libraries now than I did when I first left a single library. Now I know how collection development is done. I know how budgets are done all over the world. I would say I'm a super librarian now. Well, I feel that in the US library community, perhaps more than in other parts of the world, these are seen as oppositional roles. But in fact, we're both part of the scholarly community. Authors, publishers, libraries, this is part of a synergistic system. And I think that publishers can't operate effectively without libraries and feedback, and libraries can't operate effectively without vendors. Publishers are part of the vendor community, and then there are a lot of middlemen vendors who support the activities of both sides. I think now that libraries are seeing such staff cuts, they're relying more on their vendors, on publishers to do activities that librarians in the library traditionally did. And that's okay. The path of a mover and shaker is not all sweetness and roses. I got a lot of flack from my colleagues when I was recognized nationally in this way. I think they didn't know what I was doing on the national level for ALA. And I think you have to stick to your guns and do what you believe your skill set is. And if you can't do it in your library, then find either a state association, the national association, find a way to perform it, even if it's not your job description exactly.